For months, Ukraine has targeted Russia's frontline troops. But now, Kyiv has opened a new front in the war, one aimed not at soldiers, but at the fuel, electricity, and logistics that keep Russia's military machine running. In its most ambitious drone campaign yet, Ukraine claims it has struck a dozen Russian Shadow Fleet tankers, multiple power substations, radar sites, and gas infrastructure across occupied Crimea. The goal is clear: isolate the peninsula, choke Russian supplies, and make Crimea increasingly difficult for Moscow to defend. Ukraine's latest drone offensive marks a major shift in strategy. Instead of focusing only on military bases and ammunition depots, Kyiv is now systematically dismantling the infrastructure that powers Russia's war effort in occupied Crimea.
And there is no major oil refinery left in Russia that has not been struck by Ukraine. I want to emphasize this. Unlike Putin, we are not fighting this war for pleasure or for geopolitics. Russia brought this war to Ukraine, and it's killing our people. It wants to destroy our independence, and we are only defending. From the first day of this war, we are defending ourselves.
According to Ukraine's military, drones struck 12 Russian Shadow Fleet tankers over 2 days in the Sea of Azov, vessels allegedly carrying fuel to Crimea. 8 tankers were hit in the first wave, followed by 2 more later that day, after 2 additional vessels were attacked a day earlier. Kyiv says the Sea of Azov has become one of Russia's most critical supply routes for sustaining forces in Crimea and southern Ukraine. But the campaign didn't stop at sea. Ukraine also says it targeted electrical substations, gas compressor stations, radar systems, and missile installations across occupied Crimea. Ukrainian military officials have described the operation as a deliberate effort to disrupt Russian logistics, fuel distribution, and electricity supplies supporting military operations. Ukraine's military claimed that it had struck 44 energy infrastructure sites across Crimea between July 1st, July 7th. Strikes come amid heightened Russian attacks on Ukrainian capital, which have claimed lives of at least 59 people in 2 separate attacks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is currently in Turkey to attend NATO summit as an observer and not on official capacity. Zelensky once again touted his nation's drone supremacy and pitched in for a NATO seat which Russia sees as major red line.
Do you really believe it would be right to live outside NATO, a country and a people with this level of defensive capability? If we already have these capabilities, if Ukrainians already know how to fight like this, then it does make sense for these capabilities to become a part of the alliance's collective defense.
The strikes are part of a much broader campaign that has accelerated in recent weeks. According to reports, fuel shortages have already been reported in Crimea, while repeated attacks on energy infrastructure have contributed to power disruptions across the peninsula. Russian-installed authorities have previously acknowledged widespread blackouts and introduced restrictions on fuel sales following Ukrainian strikes. Ukraine's long-term objective is no secret. Kyiv has intended to effectively cut Crimea off from mainland Russia through systematic strikes on logistics corridors, energy infrastructure, and military supply routes. That strategy is now becoming increasingly visible. Drone footage released by Ukraine appears to show fuel tankers engulfed in flames and infrastructure burning across occupied territory. Reuters could not independently verify the footage. The military also released footage compilation of striking more than 300 long-haul trucks meant to transport oil and energy across Crimea. Military analysts say Crimea is more than symbolic. Since Russia annexed the peninsula in 2014, it has become the logistical hub for Moscow's operations in southern Ukraine, housing air bases, naval facilities, missile systems, and supply depots that support Russian forces across the front. Disrupting fuel deliveries, damaging substations, and forcing electricity outages increases pressure on Russian logistics without requiring large-scale ground offensives. Ukraine has also expanded strikes deep inside Russia itself. This year alone, Ukrainian drones have repeatedly targeted oil refineries, pumping stations, storage depots, and energy facilities, contributing to fuel shortages in several Russian regions and forcing Moscow to strengthen air defenses around critical infrastructure. Moscow has not publicly commented on the latest tanker attacks. But as Ukraine expands its reach from refineries to ports, power grids, and maritime logistics, the battlefield is increasingly shifting beyond the front lines. The war is no longer being fought only with tanks and artillery. It is now being fought over electricity, fuel, and the supply chains that keep an army moving.
If you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe to Mirror Now.